And if I could take a point of personal privilege under Order Business 15, I was in this building in 2015, not as an elected official, but as a lobbyist, and there was a vacancy that occurred, and I read with interest in the paper that this gentleman, Tyrone Thompson, had been appointed to fill the vacancy. I did not know him at that time, but he was coming in after session had already started, and I remember reading a couple things. Number one, he was going to serve on 4 committees after not being here at the beginning of session, and he came in after the bill request deadline, so he didn't have any bills, and as luck would have it, I was at the back of the building the first day that he walked into this building for his first day of service. I don't think he'd been sworn in yet. He was going to be sworn in that day. And I saw him, and I recognized him from the newspaper, and I quickly introduced myself, as any good lobbyist would do, and I said, welcome to the building. And I remember he said, I'm just so honored to be able to serve. That was his remark coming in, and I think when you think about Tyrone, like, that typifies Tyrone. He was just honored to serve and to do the work. Once I became elected, one thing I remember about him distinctly, and many of you will remember this, when you're a first-time candidate or when you first get elected, you get invited to a lot of events, and some of them you go to and you don't really feel like you belong there. You're in the room and you're trying to figure out who everyone is, you're trying to size up the room, and Tyrone had a way of walking into a room like that, and he would scan the back walls to see who wasn't feeling included, who was hesitant to be there. And he would reach out and say, he'd put his arm around you, give you a big bear hug, and he'd say, come on, let me introduce you to some people. And I feel like that was one of his supreme talents, was walking into a room and figuring out who didn't feel like they belonged, whose voice wasn't being heard in that room. And he just had a way with that big smile and that gregarious personality to make you feel happy that you went to that event, no matter what you might have been feeling as you parked your car and as you walked into the event. When Tyrone was there, you knew things were going to get done, and that's what I remember most about him, above and beyond all the great policies that he enacted. And so my request of all of us is to be that person when you walk into a room and you see one of your colleagues who maybe doesn't feel comfortable, to make that effort to introduce, to connect people. And so I'm obviously supportive of this resolution.